What's up, guys? I'm Michael Vorpal, and this is the show for those with common sense who believe common sense is not dead. So, if you believe that a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a man, the show's probably not for you because common sense, which reigns supreme, would tell us that that is, in fact, not the case. However, if you believe in that, that's fine. Freedom of thought, freedom of speech. That's something that I swore to uphold and defend, and you can have those things. So stick around. Let's share these ideas and perspectives together, or who knows, maybe from today's episode, then you can gain another piece of nugget in value because we are not going to discuss the previously mentioned topic in this episode today. Maybe in the future, but not today. So, with that being said, yes, I am an active duty Marine. So, I want it to be known that this show is in no way, this is some legalese, some legal things to wrap up here in the beginning of the show or to put out there so that people don't come at me because I think I'm going to be putting the crosshairs, so to speak, for this show. But anyway, yes, I'm an active duty United States Marine, so I want it to be known that this show is in no way an official affiliation to the Department of Defense, United States Marine Corps, or any other agency. The thoughts, opinions, and perspectives expressed are mine and mine alone and do not represent any official remarks, statements, or anything the like of the mentioned agencies or equivalents. Long story short, this is me, my own, no official in any way, shape, or form, or any other capacity, an official statement from any of those agencies. This is me, Michael Vorpal, me. Okay, I can't stress that enough. Apparently, I got to say that because people don't have common sense enough to understand that people can have opinions on a personal level. So I think that about sums up all the legalese. Let's move on to what this show is actually about. This is my way of giving back to you, fellow service members, Americans, individuals. Who knows if this show ends up getting world round? I hope that the perspectives that I bring and the common sense approach that I apply to my day-to-day life can absolutely help you as well. All right. So you're going to see a couple different formats here. All right. The first format is going to be something that I call Let's Talk About It, where I see a headline, I see a topic, I see a statistic, I see something that I believe to be important and relevant, and we just simply talk about it. I provide some stats, provide the links to the articles, whatever the case is, and we go ahead and talk about those things, and I provide that perspective. The second format you're going to see is what I call saved rounds. All right. So saved rounds in the military, you know what this means? It means, oh, hey, I have that one last thing, that one last thought, that one last idea that I need to get out to everyone in order for you to fully understand what we need to do or to give you that extra piece of value. So that is the second type of format. The third format is going to be what I call scroll and troll. So that's where we're scrolling the internet, we're scrolling social media, we're scrolling all those things. And we are trolling. I am trolling. And together we are trolling. But I troll in a sense of, hey, let's bring some light, some common sense approaches to actually what's going on and discuss those perspectives and what I see. Then the last format is what I call full send Q&A. So that means full send, rounds down range. Your questions are those rounds. Let's fire them outside your weapon system, which is our mouth, freedom of speech. Look, fire them, full send them my way. You can comment those questions in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can send them into me at fullsend4answers@gmail.com. That's fullsend4answers@gmail.com. And that is where I will pick up those questions and answer them on that format of the show. So with that being said, I'm not doing this for free, guys. All right. And I need you to contribute to the show. I feel like I'm going to be putting myself in the crosshairs, so to speak, with speaking some blunt truth, some common sense. And it seems to me that the truth and common sense, people find it hurtful, which is weird to me, but it is what it is. So all I ask is your contribution, your payment is please just share the show, interact with the show, share it with a like-minded friend, individual, veteran, someone who's currently serving, someone who you feel is going to get value. Okay. That's all I ask. Okay. And it's not much to do so. All right. And if you think it's a lot, then you're dense, but let's not be dense and let's spread some common sense. So today's show is actually going to be a saved round episode. Okay. And today's saved round episode, it's really near and dear to me because this is a concept that I have applied to and through in almost my entire adult life, so to speak. Well, really, after what I would say the first 5 years after graduating high school, this perspective was given to me. I didn't create this. I can't take full credit for this, but I absolutely know that this is something that's going to help you because I have applied it for over a decade now, and it has never steered me wrong. Okay. I was on my first tour recruiting duty, and this was in regards to my performance and how we need to perform as Marines on recruiting duty. And the what was laid out to me was this. You're going to lose one of two things on this duty, they said. You're going to lose your pride or you're going to lose your integrity. You're going to lose your pride or you're going to lose your integrity. And simply put, we all know that there's this mantra, which you can't do nowadays, by the way, but in the recruiting realm, it was the sense of, hey, you can either have someone who wants to join the Marine Corps lie about something in order for them to enlist, or you can do the right thing and maybe take a little longer route and get the proper documentation to document whatever it is that you thought about having them say nothing about. And that really stuck with me. And, over the course of the last decade, I've applied and pondered and reflected this mantra, this lesson to and through. And I wish I could remember who said it to me. I got a couple senior leaders that I have in mind, but I've applied it to every facet of my life. I learned it on recruiting, yes, but I applied it to every single facet, from the professional development of myself, my subordinates, which means me developing as a leader, in my marriage, as a husband, as a father, as a son, as an athlete, if you will, as someone who coaches. I've applied that concept literally to everything. And I want you to take that and apply that for yourself. But I'm going to give you about a decade worth of reflection of what that really means. And really the main area, the focal point, the root area that you need to apply that concept. Okay. And that area is this. Remember, you're going to lose one of two things: your pride or your integrity. Yes, a real good example. Let's look at something that's incredibly important and how it applied to my marriage. Okay. As I was getting this podcast ready to rock and roll again, which I'm super, super pumped that I'm getting going. Again, my wife noticed that I swore in the very first episode. Now, in the culture of the Marine Corps and the military, swearing is not something that's, foreign, if you will. In fact, we say it's part of our culture. Okay. Although any professional development curriculum teaches you that swearing actually nullifies your message. However, you have to use it appropriately, this, that, and the other. Listen, I understand the vernacular. I understand the context. I understand the culture in which we grow up in. And it can apply anywhere, not just the military, but anywhere where swearing is the norm. All right. But from a faith perspective, and as my wife, she felt very convicted about, hey, you need to look at your swearing. What example are you setting? And as Christians, we're called, to do better. We're there to set the example. How can you set the example? It kind of is it's hypocrisy. She was very blunt and honest with me, which I love and appreciate about my wife. But this concept immediately came into my head, and I had to apply it real time. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, it'll take a while for this to just immediately, like that, become a muscle in something that you practice, because it takes reps. You need to consciously apply it and work on it, and you have to want to improve. But here's how I apply this. Again, you're going to lose your pride or your integrity. Immediately, my pride was hit. Immediately, the thoughts of, babe, it really doesn't matter. It's just swearing. Okay. Listen, like, the people who I'm talking to, everyone's not going to really care that much. Like, it is what it is. It's normal. It's day to day. Like, what are we talking about here? But then my integrity came into play. And I really thought about what she was saying. And what she was saying was, look, you're going to look like a hypocrite for your own individual level and what I know you to be as a Christian and as a father and as a man. And that really hit home. So I want you to think about that. I would be setting a horrible example and a hypocritical example for my daughter, for my wife, for my community, if I were to continue on those actions and not listen to what she had to say. My pride wanted me to say it wasn't that big of a deal. My integrity, though, was like, you know what? Deep down, I know for me personally that my integrity would be put into question. I would be questioning my integrity. Others, you would probably have no idea. Oh, that's just how he talks. It's okay. It's whatever. It's accepted. But I would be questioning my integrity. And that's probably the biggest root cause and root area you need to look at. That's the root, ladies and gentlemen. The integrity has nothing to do whether or not you lied to someone, whether or not people think one thing, even though, like think one thing about you or accept what you're doing for them. It has to do with, do you accept it for you? Do you accept that example that you're setting? Do you accept that swearing is okay, even though you are trying to apply no swearing in another aspect of your life, meaning, in this example, faith. See the biggest thing that you could, it wasn't for my wife. It wasn't for my wife. It has everything to do with me. I could swear and you would think nothing of it, but I would know that I'm being a hypocrite and I'm lying to the most important person in my life. And that's myself in this earthly world. And that's God spiritually as well. See, and he knows me through and through. And this isn't some spiritual talk here, but this concept you can apply to yourself. If you're going to lie to yourself, you are lying to the most important person in your life, and you are the root of your life. But it's because of your own pride for yourself, of yourself, and the image of others that you take their acceptance as feeding into it being okay. You are relinquishing control to them in order to dictate what you do and what you're going to accept for yourself. But deep down, your own integrity is in question. So if you ever thought about, oh man, like this just didn't feel right, or I know I could do more, I want you to apply this concept. What areas of your life can you apply this to? Can it be being a husband? Can it be being a father? Can it be being a leader? Can it be being, just in any area you want to change? Apply it to finances. You want to purchase something and it'll look good. It'll feel good. Maybe it's a watch. Maybe it's something materialistic and it'll feel good. It'll make you feel good, right? And great that you bought it, which is great. Material goals are okay. But if you know you're not to where you need to be financially, then you've already put your integrity in question by purchasing it and actually violated your integrity and lied to yourself. Because through your actions, you are violating your integrity. So by me swearing, I was violating my integrity. And quite honestly, this is probably the second episode now that I haven't sworn in. And I'm going to continue to try and do that because my pride was hit, but my integrity is now in check and I can be at peace with that. And I love my wife and God putting her in my life in order for me to do that, to help me gut check you. Or gut check me. So I'm here to gut check you. What areas do you need to shed your pride from? What areas do you need to just let that pride shield go, let that pride armor go, let that pride shell go, and allow yourself to be true and honest with yourself so that you can keep the integrity with the most important person of your life, which is you. I want you to think about that. I want you to write that down. Where can I shed my pride coat and allow my integrity coat to shine? That's what you need to do. I learned it on recruiting. I applied it to my life. And now I want you to take it and apply it to yours. You're going to lose one of two things, your pride or your integrity. So what's it going to be? I hope it's the pride and you can stay true to yourself. Well, I hope you guys gained some value from today's saved rounds. With that being said, more are going to come. I got a lot of things that I can share with you. So if you gain value from this, again, please don't be dense, share the common sense, and I'll talk to you all soon.